What's up, YouTube? Let's talk about that. So, this is my H&R Pardner shotgun. H&R 1871 Pardner Pump 12 gauge. That's mine. This is a 2 3/4 or 3 inch. It don't say Magnum, or it doesn't say it's a rifled barrel, so let's just go with that. So like I mentioned, I said that I put the Vortex Crossfireii 3x9 by 40. This scope is Bam Jamma. Everything I got was from Amazon minus the gun itself. I've had it. What threw me off was I took this gun duck hunting and I smacked some ducks. So when I missed at that turkey, I was a little thrown for a loop. So what did I do to get this rolling? Well, let's put this down and I'll tell you the process of what I did. So before I went to the range, I ordered the Easy Shoot 12 gauge bore sighter. Okay, like I said, everything I got from Amazon. So here you go. This is what it looks like. It's solid, it's heavy. It's about the size of a 2 3/4 inch shotgun shell, okay? That unscrews. It doesn't have an on and off switch, so once you put the batteries in there, they're in there, you have to take them out. And those little holes right there beside the white one, that's an adjustment screw. And I suggest before you go ahead and stick this in your gun, this is where a lot of people mess up. I hate the bore sight of the laser, it's not accurate. This got me on target, okay? My first initial shooting, I had this target, this same exact target at 15 yards. And I was shooting just a little low in the beginning. And I went through 3 of these sticky, whatever that is, that just lets you know you shot it so that you can see it. So this is the 3rd one. This is my last one. It helped me get there. This is the Easy Shoot laser bore sight. But what you got to do is you got to be on a flat surface. What I did was I took 2 pieces of PVC pipe right about 1 inch in diameter, and I cut them a little bit shorter than this, so that's about 3 inches. And what you want to do is make sure that that sits off the edge of that PVC pipe, right? Bring it up to the front. And what you're going to do with this is you rotate this nice and slow. While you're doing that, you're going to be doing that on the wall, just like something like this, right? You would have 2 PVC pieces of pipe, one on each side of this laser bore sight. Spin it very slow, but pick a spot on the wall, like put a piece of tape on the wall, about 15 yards, right? I would probably do 15 yards and spin that. And what a lot of people don't do is, what happens is if that laser is not aligned, calibrated, it'll do like this, okay? But if it's calibrated, it'll be a smaller little circle. You want to adjust it to the tightest that you can get where it's not wandering. So that's a tip. If you get a laser bore sight, just make sure it's calibrated before you go ahead and stick it in your gun. So after I did that, we went to the range. Well, sorry. I ordered the Picatinny rail from Amazon and that scope, and everything was all hunky-dory. I'm gonna put a picture of everything I ordered from Amazon for this gun. And including my choke tube that I went with, which is extra full by H&R. Okay, so today's shooting was with these Winchester 12 gauge 2 3/4, 1550 feet per second on the velocity, 1 16th ounce of the shot, and that is number 4 shot. Duck load, number 4 shot. Why did I choose to do this? One, I had multiple boxes of this. I didn't want to buy anything extra. We are moving, so use what you got. And plus, that pattern looks pretty dang good if I don't say so myself. So that's what I decided to use. And as I was sighting this in, like I said, I was started at 15 yards and I worked my way out to 25. And that scope was awesome. I came home, I did realize that because everything was new scope rings, my scope slid forward a little bit. So, which made sense because towards the end, now I only took a box with me, that's 25 rounds. I had 3 in my bag, I shot 28 rounds. I slid up and I didn't realize, I was trying to figure out why I was shooting, why it went up a little bit. My scope slid forward a little bit and I just caught that. So I'm gonna have to cinch everything down and probably go back to the range. But I would say this is a 12-inch sticky target. Regardless, okay, that will kill a turkey, hands down. Now that didn't do that from one round, okay? All that splatter is probably consistent with about 3 rounds. This is not a TSS with the tungsten. This is just your standard waterfowl load. I'm very happy with this. And the other flip side to that is now I don't have to shoot multiple different shotgun rounds. That worked very well. It's a versatile round for me, right? I'm only going to use that for ducks and turkeys. I'm not shooting anything else small game. So if anybody has that H&R 1871 Pardner Pump, this might be very helpful for you. Using the extra full choke by H&R, and I got it matched up with the Crossfire 2 scope. Hit it with the bore sight, and I was at the range for an hour. So hopefully that's helpful for y'all. One last thing before I go. If you decide to mount a scope on your shotgun, now that's a full-size barrel, okay? That's a full-size barrel. The first scope that I chose was a Simmons. I ordered it. I ordered the Simmons 3x9x32, I believe. Now, the reason why I had an issue with that was because I could see the barrel in the scope, and that was right in the crosshair. So that was a no-go. Did some more research. A couple people suggested turn the power up. Okay, so I mounted it back on there, turned the power up. I could still see that. So that would mess you all up. A turkey came out and you seen that in there. Okay, what am I gonna do? So I had an extra scope, which was a 3x9x50. However, the 50 millimeter is bigger, and I used the medium size scope rings, and it sat on top of the barrel. It was hitting it. Now, that's a no-go. So did some more research, and I said, you know what? Let me just order the 3x9x40 medium scope rings, and we'll try it. So while that was coming in, I said, hey, I actually got some high rings. Let me put the high rings with that 50 millimeter. What happened was I had to lift my cheek up off the stock in order to get that 50 millimeter so I could see through that 50 millimeter. So that's too big and too high. That's when I got that 40, and I said, oh, that might work. And the 40, I did forget to mention that, so but here, let's take a look again. All right. 3x9x40, medium scope rings, and you got plenty of clearance. I know that's cutting it pretty close. It's not touching, but this is where you want to keep your eye out, okay? The 50 millimeter will hit there if you put that on medium scope rings. So that, in case y'all are coming to that issue there, keep that in mind. If you see the barrel in the scope, also when you're mounting it, try to scoot the scope back a little bit. That helped too. And I turned the power between 4 and 5. Could not see the barrel anymore. I hope that's helpful.